Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Almost Martha. And today, I've been looking for recipes for Thanksgiving where I can do a lot of the work ahead of time. And I think I've hit upon a really great salad. You can toss in the morning, put it in the refrigerator. It's going to be great when you pull it out. There's chopping that can be done the day before, stays nice and crisp. So today, we're going to make a vegetable Caesar salad, and it's going to be great on your Thanksgiving or Christmas table, and you can make it ahead of time and not worry. It'll be nice and crunchy right when you need it. So hang on, let's do it together. A nice vegetable Caesar salad. All right, we are going to be using broccoli, and we're going to use cabbage, and we're also going to use kale. And we're going to use 3 cups of each. Now I've washed my cabbage, I've let it drain. You don't want too much water in there. We want to make sure all your vegetables are, clean, not grainy, no dirt in there. So just get a last little pat here. And this is really super easy because we're going to use bottled dressing to finish it off. Yeah. On Thanksgiving, I don't have time to make homemade Caesar dressing, right? So I'm going to take my cabbage and I'm just going to slice it. I'm going to thinly slice it. You can use a mandolin if you want to, but there's just not that much to do. So I would just rather do it by hand. And then I have my measuring cup, and I'm going to be looking for 3 cups of all the vegetables, so it's sort of evenly distributed. So slice that cabbage, thin slices. Listen to that crunch. Slice that cabbage, and then we're going to also do a couple of crosswise cuts so people don't have to fight their salad to eat it. There is nothing worse, in my opinion, than digging into a salad and putting your fork in and coming out with a piece of lettuce, the size of Wyoming. I think that's not fair to the diner. So I always try to make sure whatever salad that I serve, you can put it in a fork, you can eat it without having to struggle. This makes it easy for everybody. Okay, so that is 3 cups of chopped cabbage. Find the biggest bowl that you can. So I actually had to go to the basement and I digged up. This is like an old bread bowl, but it's really big. And the bigger the bowl you have, the easier it is to toss any salad. So having a really big tossing bowl is very important. For the broccoli, I want to make sure that I don't have too much of the stem. So I'm just going to trim as close to the floret as possible. And get rid of that. Because what we're really going to do, we're going to slice these florets. Nobody wants big hunks of stem, right? Again, talking about your guest. Big hunks of stem. And okay, that'll work. So just sort of, first slice into the broccoli, and then you can see how big that stem is, and you can get rid of it. Try to keep the florets intact because we're going to be slicing those florets for the salad. Okay, so get those out of here. I really, last Thanksgiving, thank goodness I had helping hands in the kitchen, but I was in the kitchen the entire time. And normally I hadn't done that. I'd worked it out a bit better, but last year I was in the kitchen the whole time. I missed the whole, like, everyone's having little appetizers and I can hear them laughing in the living room. And I'm like, huh, yeah, I'm working in here. So this year I'm really trying to do everything ahead of time. So all I have to do is sort of pop things in the oven at different times. That would be such an improvement. And then I will get to enjoy the day as well. I love doing all the other stuff. I love setting the table. I love, doing that kind of stuff. That's just fun. I could do that all day long. But yeah, I was really, really working hard last year. And the day before, I was making pies and all of that, which I'll be doing again. We'll see how many I'm gonna make, but it is fun. This year we'll be making pies and making dishes that we can serve without all the angst. Okay, so now I have my broccoli florets, and I'm just gonna take my knife and I'm gonna slice them. You don't want them paper thin, but you just want them, thin enough. So, and there's a bad spot there. I'm gonna get rid of that bad spot. See what you find when you cut open the floret. So it's about that thin, maybe a little less than half an inch. Okay. Oh wait, I'm going to measure these. So if I was cooking for myself, I'd just be throwing it in. I would just be throwing it in. And you can too. I say it should be 3 cups each, but use what you have. Don't stress about it. Could you substitute some vegetables? You could. I think Brussels sprouts would work well. Those you would just peel off a lot of the outer leaves, and then you would also slice those Brussels sprouts really thin. I know a lot of times you can buy shaved Brussels sprouts, so that would be, a quick way to do it. But you can play with this too, because this is super, super easy. I'm just going to continue. So it's good to know this is the most time-consuming part. You just want to slice your broccoli and make sure not too stemmy, as I've said. Okay. All right, we're almost there. Keep it even, Steven. Okay, maybe one more here. Okay, and I'll just reserve this broccoli for something else. I'm just gonna dump that right in the bowl. The last thing we have to do is our curly kale. And I have a big bag of kale here. Now, for this, you also don't want these big stems, right? Nobody wants that big stem in their mouth. So I'm just going to rip that stem off. You can buy kale that's not in a bag that you can just, trim and wash and all of that yourself. Sometimes I do get curly kale from Fresh Direct, which we have here in New York, and that kale is all ready to go. Very, very little picking and stem cleaning I have to do. So lots of options for kale. It's funny, when I was in France, I didn't see kale anywhere, like on any recipe or even in the grocery store. I didn't see any kale. And I asked Stefan at the foodist. I said, so one thing I don't see around here is any kale. He goes, yes, no more kale. Like it had its moment. The moment has passed. Okay, okay then. Lots of endive and just regular salad, field greens kind of stuff, but no kale. I do like kale. Kale is really good for you, and it's also super sturdy. So if you eat if you bring home a kale salad from a restaurant that you ordered, that kale salad is going to be good the next day because that kale really holds up. It doesn't wilt and fall apart like a lot of other salad greens the minute that you put dressing on it. So that's one thing I like about it. I rarely finish anything in a sitting, so I usually have things left over if Mark doesn't eat it. So Mark gets to try many things off my plate that I don't finish. Okay. Now you don't want this chopped too finely. You still want it to, have some good texture to it, but you also don't want it to be super big. So you have to pick that in between for yourself. And again, we're going for 3 cups. So I probably won't need all this. Let's see. This will probably be the last thing I have to chop. Now, a lot of times too, you can massage your kale. You know how kale has that very stiff texture? If you chop it like I'm doing here, you don't have to worry about it too much. But if you're serving a salad with big pieces of kale in it, it's good to massage it. And really, you just take a piece of kale and you actually massage it. And it helps break up the stuff in the kale that gives it that stiff quality. Really makes a tremendous difference in the kale. But I'm not massaging today. I'm just chopping. So go ahead and Google massaging your kale and what it does for you. Okay. Well, maybe a little more. Maybe a little more. I'll just finish what's on the board here. And that'll give me my full 3 cups. Okay, here we go. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So now I've got 3, 3, 3. Right in this big bowl, 3, 3, 3. 3 cups of each. I'm just going to take my hands. I'm just going to mix them together a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to clean this up and we can finish it off. Okay. I have 1/3 cup of, shredded, well, not shredded, grated Parmesan cheese, and that goes in. And then for my salad dressing, I'm just going to use Cardini Caesar salad dressing. It is a great Caesar salad dressing. It's my favorite, and it works really, really well. There was probably about 1/3 cup in here, but salad dressing, I think, and especially since we're just using bottled, is really, that's your taste. If you're making this for guests and you like very light salad dressing, just put out the bottle. So if they want to add a little more, they can. So everybody's accommodated. I'm going to add some pepper. And then I'm just going to toss this baby and taste it. Now we added 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. If you have some, I've got some great little Parmesan slices I'm also going to put in here. Now, if you're the day of, I'm going to, like on Thanksgiving, I'm going to make this in the morning. I'm going to toss it. I'm going to get it ready to go, put the dressing on there, cover it up and put it back in the refrigerator. Right before I serve it, I'm going to toss it with some croutons and put it out, and it's going to be good to go. This is a normal weekday night, and Mark and I are not going to eat all this salad. So we will have some salad tonight, some tomorrow, maybe even some the day after that. But tonight I'm not going to put any croutons in it. But tomorrow night, just for a little extra zoom, I may add some croutons, maybe some pistachios. You also, when you put your salad in your bowl, you can dot it with some cherry tomatoes, which will give it a little more color. But it's a really great salad. A great way for all of us to get our vegetables too. That's good. We could use a little more dressing. A little more. And that's probably the most important thing. You can look at it, but you should also give it a taste. That's what chefs do. They do that all the time. They're always tasting their food before it goes out. It's good though. Really nice and crunchy. It looks really good. Another great thing that gives color to salads are pomegranate seeds. You can just sprinkle some pomegranate seeds on top when you put them out in the bowl. Okay, here we are. I'm going to take a piece of cabbage this time. Oh yeah, that is really good. That is really good. It's a nice bowl of vegetable goodness that will last you more than a day. So, this is super easy, but I'll just write it all out for you. Put it on almost-martha.com, and you can see that along with all the other recipes that I've made. We're really looking to get some great Thanksgiving holiday recipes. So go take a look in the recipe catalog and see what you had. I have a lot on the website. That's at almost-martha.com. Please subscribe. Go to Almost Martha 21 and subscribe so you get the videos as soon as they drop. And thanks for coming by. I hope your Thanksgiving is going to be as fun as ours, and we're going to keep working on getting great recipes that you can make ahead of time to make your day easier, or to help you find the right dish to take to grandma's, one or the other. So thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time right here on Almost Martha.